you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Avast ye dirty dogs, and welcome aboard Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast, where we talk all things adventurous and plunderous. I'm your captain, JimBob Ovalshorts, and tonight we're here to share some of the most thrilling tales from the seven seas of Clown World with you. Whether you're a seasoned sailor or a landlubber or somewhere in between, you'll find something to tickle your fancy tonight. So grab your rum and hoist your sails and join us as we explore the obscure reality we call life. And welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry we missed the other week. You guys know it's kind of hit or miss recently, but eventually we'll figure out a good swing to get things working better, to where more people can actually be in here. I did tell him to kind of agree on a date, and that's how we ended up on Wednesdays. But here, it is what it is. It's all right. We're gonna figure it all out, and I'll be back right in front of your face, giving you a hard time as usual, like we always used to. We got a bunch of good stuff planned for you this evening, man. Good old catch up of things. And Luis informed me earlier in the day that we were totally going to have one of our best buddies come and join us again. I do look forward to hopefully him kind of joining us this evening. Although I am a little leery because the last couple times I've had him on here, he kind of like our conversations were so good that I think that it's what crashed the computers both times. Like, no lie. Like, I swear, the day after we talked to John, computers hit the ground, and that's why we were down for so long. But again, it is what it is. So welcome over there on Rumble, over there on Odyssey, as well as YouTube and Twitter. And if you're tied in to Luis's Twitch over there, hi there as well. So welcome aboard, everyone. And of course, with me tonight is one of my bestest buddies that I just love so much, whether he's AI or not.
Women want him, and men want to be him.
Luis, how are you doing this evening, buddy?
I met a Canadian along the way. He didn't clap my fingers when he talked, so I feel safe that my fingers didn't bleed when he was clapping, you know, as Canadians do. But otherwise, a good day.
Nice.
Hopefully, some other good things happen elsewhere in the world related to work we're working on. And if that comes through, then I will really turn into a very interesting character. And so will all of you, but that's a whole separate story that I cannot discuss further. I hear a Canadian in the background clapping again. I don't know why they keep doing that whole, but they do.
He's got a whole clap thing going on, apparently, huh? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's. I guess that's just one of those weird quirks that come from up there in America's Little Brother. There's not a whole lot we can really figure out what's going on up there half the time. I do know a few things. I know they really love maple syrup, and don't fuck with Mounties, because the Canadian Mounties will definitely rock your world if you cross them the wrong way.
But the question is, who is tougher, the LAPD or the Mounties?
The Mounties get away with it because you don't hear the stories about them because they bury the problem. So I would imagine the Mounties are a little more deadly.
What was that LAPD story that started the riots, the 90s
Rodney
riots?
King? The Rodney King thing?
So what was it? 43 shots they put into him?
Something like that, roughly. Oh, well, I do. I'm glad that he's finally popped in here. So I need to go ahead and I need to go ahead and pop our guest in this evening since he's already popped in finally and welcome him. I even got you an entrance song. So, John, welcome to the chat, buddy. Good to see you.
Hello, my friend.
Seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada came along.
I'll wear this like this is facts. This is all facts. We're not even a real country anyway.
I figure you would appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Man,
JimBob,
so
I'm coming down to Georgia, buddy. 2 weeks.
oh
I'm in
Lord,
Georgia.
oh God.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Are
heads
you gonna
up.
take me up? Are you gonna take me to the bush or what's going on?
We can go find something to do. That's an absolute.
I love it. Yo, I'm meeting up. Do you know Far Out with Foss? Big conspiracy guy, but he's got a podcast down there. We should all link up. He's bringing me down. So, and then I'm actually doing a thing with Bryce Mitchell while I'm down there. I'm gonna pop over to Arkansas quick as well. So, man, we got a full schedule. Yeah, my friend.
You still just as busy as you were before, if not busier.
Busier. This is the busiest month of my career for sure. Of the new career. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. That's good to hear that things are going well.
Well, hey, buddy, isn't it nice to bring it all back and circle back? And trust me, the day I can bring this back into the fray when it makes sense, I mean, I'll never forget. This is where it started, baby. Grassroots. I know. Trust me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, man. I mean,
I'll always have a place for JimBob.
Well, man, we've always got a place for you. I ever since I found you just joking around on TikTok, that was it for me. And we've had some of the best episodes I think of our show ever when you've been over here having conversations with us. So much so, as I was saying prior to you coming in the room, that the last 2 times I had you, the computer crashed after having you. That's what put us on hiatus those few times. So.
Bro, you know what sucks is that like I'm starting to realize this. I think I'm just like a walking disaster. So I am
Me too, so don't feel bad.
I'm a great friend, but I do leave kind of a wake of broken technology, stains. I mean, whatever. That's just, and I've come to peace. I've come to terms with that. Luis, what do you think about that as I sit here in your living room?
I mean, I can testify that it's potentially half real. I mean, I witnessed it.
What did I tell you?
How is your car running? I don't know. Your car doesn't love you.
What did I tell you about my shoes today? Can you reword how I put that essentially?
He produces a form of toxic sludge that makes all wearables eventually obsolete in an obscenely fast period of time.
Yeah, my shoes are, bro. It's like people tell me, it's like, yo, put the baby powder, the baking soda in it or whatever. It's like, no, like when my carbon footprint gets a hold of that shoe, it will take anything you put into it, you introduce to the shoe, and mutate the smell, and it becomes this. It's not good. It's like once it reaches that level, it's over. So we need to. So long story short, we need new shoes, JimBob.
We need new shoes. Well, I mean, not to brag, but the old lady bought me some new boots the other day. I just got my new boots today finally.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just got them after I got home from work today. She ordered them direct because I learned a long time ago that apparently all of the Spanish-speaking fellows in my area are built about the same size as me. So they're kind of tiny, and my size boots don't stay on the shelf in any of the stores that sell them near me. So instead of just trying to wait for the middleman and stuff to get a one and hold it for me, we just ordered them directly from the manufacturer this time, and I am highly satisfied.
I love to hear it. Maybe I should get some nice Spanish leather boots while I'm down there. I don't know. How's that work? They got size 11 down there?
Oh, I'm sure they got work boots like this down here, man. I'm definitely size 11. Everybody else is way bigger than me. I'm pretty sure those are in stock on a regular.
All right. We're looking good then.
Just be ready for conversations when you come to see me that you're going to be having to kind of look like this because I'm definitely shorter.
That's fine.
than you, so.
That's all right. Hey man, I like to sit down and lie down. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're good.
Hopefully the weather will be nice and we can go fuck off near the river, so like there's always good things
Buddy,
to do for sure.
I'm down for anything. I think that would be a really cool segment, though, that we could do to my maybe some long form content on the YouTubes. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Or even just do like we could do like an impromptu podcast. What about like a podcast in a rowboat? You know what I mean? Something.
These things are plausible as long as the signal stays good. We could probably make this happen.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool idea. We could even do it like we could just film it and then I'll upload it on my YouTube raw. Anyways, we can talk about all this off channel. I'm just excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm glad to hear you're excited. So are you still out there calling on the news? Doing your news deal?
Well, we just dropped. I mean, the news is hotter and heavier than ever.
Of course.
We just actually uncovered. I had a friend send me something, and it was, you may have heard of Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, Angela Chow. She met a very unfortunate end. She's the woman that was trapped in the Tesla, who drowned.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you remember this?
I do.
Guess who the CEO of the company that hit the Baltimore Bridge was yesterday? Yeah. Yes, her.
Oh yeah.
He was.
Really?
Yeah, the CEO of the company that is responsible for the bridge thing in Baltimore. Yeah.
Awfully interesting.
That is awfully interesting. Yeah, it is awfully interesting. That's what I thought too. Anyway, so we made that video just before we went live here about an hour ago, and we're already at 300,000 views, which is cool because that means 300,000 people have seen Luis's mother's beautiful art on the wall as well. So we're getting art out there, man. We're doing it all.
Hey, I mean, and however it works, like I love seeing other people
help you out with that, sir, but you want to persist.
I love seeing people, and their stuff explode like that. I mean, I try. I've been trying for a couple of years now, and I just kind of do my little thing, and I think I like my little thing. I like our little group of following, including our new following that likes to hang out on Twitch and ask us.
Oh, you got a Twitch going?
No, not on purpose. Not on purpose.
On Twitch. Oh. I'm trying to see because it's on the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain category.
So,
I like random people be like, "Oh, this is Metal Gear Solid 5 lore." I didn't know.
We try to find a reason. We try to find a reason, every week to talk about Metal Gear Solid, of course, and then just the straight up references of how much reality is so close to Metal Gear Solid. Are you familiar with the game, John?
Yeah, and I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. Of course, Metal Gear Solid 2, bro. That commercial haunts me still. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it in my DMT trip tomorrow. That's where I'm gonna go.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I mean, I guess you are hanging out with Luis.
No. You know what's crazy, JimBob, is I'm doing it with a different fella. It's actually one of the SEAL Team 6 members.
Timmy!
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Kenny. It's Kenny. It's Kenny. Yeah, it's Kenny. Oh wait, that was Timmy. That wasn't Kenny.
That was totally Timmy.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry,
I don't know. Did you hear I guess you were working with other news, but Bandit had thrown up before we came on there that longtime senator and vice presidential nominee Joe Lieberman was died after complications of a fall, apparently.
Oh no. Well, I wonder.
Fall.
Yeah. So wait,
fall.
Like he just died? Like that just happened?
Yeah. Like at 6:00 this evening.
Well, gee golly.
I'm
breaking news to me.
I'm a terrible person, of course. I say that means it's time for Crab Rave. Because that's another one down. Like
that's great. Yeah. No,
right,
frankly, did he run into any other acting politicians and happened to take and that also fell, or was it just the one?
That's an awfully interesting point of view. And speaking of politicians and interesting points of view, I actually sat through the damn near 3 hours of the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Announcement yesterday when he was announcing his his running mate, and it was like a whole rally. There was a whole bunch of different stuff going on there, and like when John F. Kennedy came up there and was talking, when Robert F. Kennedy, I mean, he came up there and was talking.
Yeah.
He was I was freaking out in the group chat because I was talking to the group chat because I was like, holy crap. He's on here talking things that I think he's taking notes from our show because this is some of the most outlandish nonsense that I've ever said. Like,
You know, he used to come to Canada and protest our oil, and he also was a
Yeah.
proponent for climate lockdowns. Just
oh yeah,
saying.
I'm not I will never jump on the rocker of any politician for sure because they're all crooked in my opinion. But like, it was interesting to hear some of the things being said openly on like the media
Listen,
that I know I've
yeah.
been censored for, and you've probably been censored for.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. I'll listen. I'll say this. It is a nice change of tone, but in the end, he is pandering. He sees that wedge of people.
Sure.
He's a career politician, and he's saying all the right things to people like us.
He's a lawyer. He's a career lawyer too. So.
Yeah, no, scumbag.
Well, believe me, I promise you, I'm smarter than believing him. Like I don't believe.
No, but it is still like if I may say, it is good. It's still a good thing, I think, overall, because at least he's shining some sort of. Some people consider that man legitimate. So if he's giving legitimacy to these things, then I think it's a what is it, a zero sum game? It's like it evens out. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh yeah, it was a very positive thing because like I was saying, there's things I heard come out of his mouth yesterday during his little speech that I was like, damn, we've said some crazy shit just like that, and this shit's on the mainstream without being completely just doxxed as soon as it happened. I mean, you are looking at the 24-time Facebook banned champion. Like,
let's go.
It's just like, why? Why now? Why suddenly? Why does that guy get the green light to say the things that I get banned for?
Because they figured out a way. They figured out a way to like monetize it and make money from it.
Sure. And then of course, like I had my own like separate questions, that I would love to. Like I thought it thoroughly through, Luis, and I know I didn't have any when you actually went, but like I thought it thoroughly through, like some hard questions that I'd love to see him answer, like. He talks about all these different kind of agency reforms. I think it needs to boil down to like police reforms and stuff too, big time. Because like there needs to be a new way that they do that kind of stuff. Because of course that's
an
absolute shit show.
What the hell would all the like think about if you abolish the CIA, the FBI, which we should. And
Absolutely.
Then what would those agents do? Like you're going into the deli and it's just like a former CIA agent there serving you your sandy. Like what would they? You know what I mean? Where would they find themselves in the like some asshole bus driver? I don't know.
Yes, Luis. What would you do after you retired? I mean.
Yeah, Luis. Yeah.
I mean, what you do is you offset corporations' finances in a way, so the corporation is indirectly funneling their money through these pseudo employees. So employees that are not employees are still employees in relationship to cash flow. How do you think the Pentagon used to have 90,000 employees? There's an ad for you.
The highest concentration of bureaucrats in the world is the Pentagon.
Have either of you ever contemplated doing a FOIA request on the information they have on you?
Well, if you're a journalist, it's free.
I mean, it was just one of those thoughts that passed through my mind.
They charge you by the page, and then you have to guess how much you have to pay them. That's the fun part. You have to guess how much you're gonna pay the government. You don't know. They don't tell you how much money they need. They will tell you if you need more. Yeah. When you make a FOIA request on somebody, that you just have to send them money. So it might cost you like $90 to $300 in terms of paperwork.
It's ridiculous.
That's why journalists.
Well, we should all do each other. Maybe we should all do each other. Can I even ask
the FBI if they have a file on you, and they'll tell you whatever they can tell you publicly. They can't tell you active investigation files, but they'll give you like whatever they've researched on you. There was a guy on Reddit that said, "Oh, look," and he shows this pile. It's like, this is how much they have just on me. But if he was asking the government, I guess he was not doing the right thing.
I'd be honestly
just-
scared to ask. I would be scared to ask them.
I mean, you're not an American, so.
That means they can spy on me with impunity, bro.
Correct.
I know.
I mean, but they spy on me with impunity, and
Oh my god, this is the weirdest tasting thing I've ever had in my life.
what's it taste like? You seem to be enjoying it.
No. Oh my god. It tastes like it tastes like brandy mixed with flat Coca-Cola.
Ew.
Like, yeah, it's like a very high percentage though, so we're gonna find out. I mean, I'm gonna drink it, but
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, yeah. I would
For the kids
I would
in
expect
Africa.
nothing less.
It's
Alright,
for,
there you go.
it's like that. It's like when we were kids and our moms were like, "Eat your vegetables," and you do it for Africa. You eat the veggies for Africa.
The starving kids in Africa.
It's like the meme with Aragon looking back, and he's like, "For Frodo, it's for Africa," and that's why I ate the carrots and the peas every time.
So
Every time.
so what's your thoughts on all the hoopla with the eclipse? I don't know how much hoopla you've heard about up there, but I know down
I
here.
mean, it's everywhere. Everyone,
Okay.
it relates. Everyone that's concerned goes back to some sort of biblical thing. So I just don't give it any serious contemplation. I think me and my friend, my Fed friend here, Luis, are gonna go watch it in Buffalo or something. So I mean,
Actually, I heard about that, and I gave him a address to the park that was right across the street, my old stomping grounds when I was running around Buffalo for a little
that's
while.
right. That's right. You're a Buffalo
Will it
boy.
have a good view of the sky at 2 p.m.?
So, and I'm out of the zone, but they're still starting to close schools in my area too, which I think is comical. You know, I mean, I've done a little bit of historical research. I can figure I can tune you guys in.
What do you have to say about it, JimBob? Let me hear.
All right, so simultaneously on a separate note, but yet it's on the same thing. There's a comet coming in too, right around the same time. All right.
Yeah.
I can photograph that. That's Devil's.
Yes.
horns or
All right.
something.
So
That sounds cool.
So I have a video, but you guys know I have the hardest time with getting the videos to play because I have a video that explains this so much cleaner than I do. Because these guys are all right. Like I don't watch their entire podcast. I do get their clips though or whatever through mine. I don't even know who they are. It's one of those deals where I guess somehow I just started getting in my feed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know. I think I actually know who you're talking about. I feel like I know who it is.
Is it those
One
ninja
red-haired-
butterfly guys?
Is it like one red bearded guy?
It's two bearded guys
Yeah, I think I know exactly who it is. Yeah.
and a
I
chick.
can't remember their name. Yeah, and the girl. Yeah, that's who it is.
But I actually went. I actually
They
went
blew up
and
recently.
yeah, I actually went and like double checked. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to check their information to see what was legit, and there was some actual legit information there and what they were discussing about the historical stuff there. So like that in its own made me go, you know, like and just I'm not a
So what about the historical stuff's making you go, like what?
Oh, okay, so in history or whatever, like the last time that this eclipse happened and this comet came through simultaneously, there was such a massive earthquake that it was on the fault line that runs through, like there's a fault line in the Appalachian Mountains that runs like through Missouri and like Arkansas and all kinds of stuff like that. But this earthquake was felt all the way to Washington D.C. by even the president, and there's like historical evidence of this. It was felt in Georgia, it caused, you know, like, so it was a pretty massive earthquake. It kind of caused
That's scary.
like, fog. It kind of caused like a fog and stuff that kind of seep up from the ground, you know, and stuff. And in our history books, they try to name the comet something else. But if you go back and find this comet like yourself, you find that if you do the math or whatever, that it's actually one that's named after a Native American thing, like Talmud or Talmud, like not Talmud or Talmud or whatever. It's spelt like that, but it's pronounced way different because it's Native American. But like it's interesting to see that these historical events do line up. And do I think there's going to be a massive earthquake? Absolutely not. Please don't quote me on that. But do I think that like there's some kind of weird
Possible.
something afoot? I do, because my biggest question is all the maps that I've been shown shows the sun moving from the Gulf of Mexico to like towards New York State. And I want to know, since when did the sun start moving west to east?
Interesting.
Because I always thought it moved east to west.
That was my understanding as well.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I will say, JimBob, did you get it? Did you get your
We
eyes
don't
on
have a flat earther here to tell us about astronomy.
Oh my god!
Fuck, that's too bad.
We needed.
We're not doing that again. The last time we did that, it was our good buddy Moral Bob, and he called Luis a bunch of dirty names because he was just a jerk.
I remember that.
I mean, there was the blonde guy that was civil.
The blonde guy was friendly, but he seemed very frustrated
Start a
with
cult
us.
tomorrow. He's interesting. He could start a
He
cult.
was. I mean, I like to find interesting people. I don't know. That's how we came across John, because he was interesting, and his
China,
TikToks made me laugh.
When you say interesting in China, it actually has more
Yes.
of like a cursed connotation. So like if you say to someone in Chinese, I hope you have an interesting year, what you're saying is I hope you have a cursed year. Fun
But what if I call you an interesting person?
They're calling me a cursed person in Chinese.
Yeah.
Which is accurate. I think interesting.
Interesting.
That's funny. I will say this.
Number 4.
Have you seen the differences between the 2017 election warnings and the 2024 election warnings? The 2017 election warnings are like kind of cute and fun, like maybe don't look at the sun directly. Make sure your kids have a plan to get home from school. And then this one, it's like, could start rationing water. Get your supplies ready. Fucking cut it. Get the cutoff. Get the escape plan ready. And it's like, oh, okay. There's a little difference in tone if you go back and look at the 2017 eclipse guidelines versus.
Actually, there's an explanation for it. I actually heard the simplest explanation that actually is very.
Hit me with it.
This is only to the areas where it's actually going to happen, because they're going to get inundated by people, so that the fuel stations will get tapped out, some stores will get tapped out. So Buffalo, when we're going in Buffalo, we're going to bring supplies, because they're right. There's going to be nothing over there, because if there's like 50,000 people where there usually is like 5, think about it. Resources are absorbed. So that day, when we go over there and there's nobody over there, first of all, we're not going to find parking. We're going to need to walk for like a bit just to park anywhere. So, yes, it's true for the areas. And I heard somebody simply say, I'm like, that's right. It's so freaking obvious. It's just in the areas where it's going to happen. It's going to be packed. So, yes, fuel up the car.
Wouldn't it have been packed in those areas back in 2017 too? Why weren't they so? Why weren't they so?
This year, because
year it's the areas were a little different.
More of the United States.
Okay,
it's just the sheer scale of the.
But the overall tone with everything, I think it's just.
I don't disagree with you, but that's only in those that they were saying. Those broadcasts were only for those areas. They weren't broadcasting that for the entire country.
So it's not even visible in my area. So why are they closing schools in my state?
Interesting.
Because every kid should go see it. Because they don't want to be at school if it's happening when you're there. They're, like, the school's not gonna organize. The school doesn't want to be liable for kids looking.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it comes down to like liabilities. They don't want to have to.
It's literally a liability thing, actually. If you really think about it, it's a liability thing. They don't
I think that is actually probably right.
Kids looking straight at the sun and burning their corneas.
Who was that other dumb kid that stared right at the sun? Oh yeah, Donald Trump. Right, that was Trump that did that. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good year. Take me back to 2017 when it was like, yo, did Trump just stare at the eclipse? What the fuck? That was crazy. Now we move on. Life continues. Take me
I
back.
mean, this will be like this. Like I seen one when I was a kid, and then I was around for the one that was going on 2017, but I was
Yeah.
totally occupied with what I was doing, and it
Me
wasn't
too. I
important
can't
to
even
me.
remember. I don't even remember what I did that day. I certainly didn't give a shit about the eclipse.
Oh, I mean, I know what I was doing, but like, I just wasn't giving a shit about the eclipse.
My man.
I don't know. That's just there's so
I
many
feel
things. Like there's so many
maybe
there's
that's
so many
part of
things
the
that are a
charm.
distraction from reality, which is totally your life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
bettering
Yeah.
who you are and what you're doing so that you can progress your life and leave some kind of legacy. And like everybody's worried about a bunch of geriatrics. Like just stop doing what they say. Stop paying taxes.
Well,
All
one of
of
the
us.
beautiful ways is when people stop paying their taxes.
That's right. Stop paying your taxes. Like just
Like,
stop
how are you?
funding.
This is the thing. The most anti-war action you can take is pay the least amount of taxes you can humanly can.
That you can get away
Taxation
with.
is
Yep,
pro peace.
absolutely.
I
100%
love
Not
that.
a
taxation
more
for peace.
most powerful action would be cash and paying the minimum humanly possible to the government because the government's stealing from you anyway. So
That's why,
I
like,
s-
I have such a hard time explaining to people, like, and you can even show them graphs to prove it, like trying to explain to folks that taxing the churches and the rich doesn't solve the spending problems of
taxing
the
the
federal
churches would
government.
raise $90 billion per year.
I understand, but they'll still spend it.
yeah. I am down to tax the churches though.
I mean, I'm not down with taxation, period. But I mean, that's just
The
me.
Department of Education. We then repeal the ATF, and then we dismantle the CIA's current retarded establishment dogmatic control, and force the entire top staff to leave. Like a little changes like that
Yes.
will get a lot of people executed, but
Execute it.
executed.
JimBob, there's a big event going on here in Bookwish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the what was it called, Luis? It's Little Tay Tay, and it's Little Tay Tay, and it's the Excellent Extravaganza Easter Block Party. So we're gonna go there, and I'm gonna get executed there.
Good Lord.
He's likely gonna get actually executed when he tries.
It's the you think of that beaver? Is that the serious beaver? Yeah,
It's the serious beaver.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I have all kinds of memes and ridiculousness just right at my fingertips because
That's better. I love a good soundbite, man. Government, can you take this? Take this and make it a soundbite. Government murder.
Government murder.
That's a good one. You can use that one. I promise.
We'll have to pull that out.
Pull that out.
I mean, our
Jamie,
best run and run.
Thanks, Jamie.
I mean, of course, our best running joke is
JimBob, Jamie. Close.
Yeah.
Our best running joke that we have to pull at least once a night every episode, and I guess I'm just going to do it now because Neptune doesn't hear, is just running with the
Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
I mean, it's like it could have gone either way at this point. Yeah, it seems to be a disaster. Yeah, it seems to be. It's like there was kind of on the fence there for a long time. It's like, well, maybe we're gonna figure out a way to actually use this beneficial technology to help ourselves.
Right.
We didn't.
And that's just the thing. Didn't. It's just that it's the group still in control. Like, you know, if you look at like different charts and different things, you can physically see where at one point in time there was an actual middle class and people were making a living and could live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a nice neighborhood for a $40,000 a year salary. And then the CEOs of all these mega corporations, the only thing they are worried about is profit. every meeting that they have is about profit. Every it's like
So
I've worked for a handful of corporations, and the bottom line at the end of the day for no matter what is about profit. And it seems that the only person that gains from the profit are the CEOs that have paychecks that that I could never see. Like,
there's a ratio that changed. So in the past, in Japan, you see it. The average CEO has a ratio of 20 to 30 times the salary of an average employee. In the United
Yeah.
States, it's 300 times the
Yes.
salary of the average employee. What many people in government and in different
Such a joke.
institutions have said is CEO pay should be tied to workers' median salary to a degree. Like in Japan, it's an average that the market dictated. It is
Sure.
not a government mandated average. So let's
Sure.
be clear with Japan. Japan didn't do that because the government's forcing them. The government is weird in Japan.
Japan did that because it was just the right thing to do.
Also in Japan, there's many companies that are like oligarchs,
Because
they're royalty. They
but like
transfer
what
power through adoptions.
but
Like they
what
did in
does
Roman times.
but what does a CEO have without the people at the bottom doing all the work? You
Oh
know what
no,
I'm saying?
I
Like,
think the Japanese ideology in relation to that is very
yes.
sound, that it should be 20, 30 times the average median salary. Because I understand why is a CEO getting paid more? Well, the reality is a CEO of any company that's
Yes,
smart
yes.
too is having
Like
responsibilities on tasks.
I understand that aspect of it. But if you like
CEOs don't do
there's
shit. No. I'm going to interject. I was the EA to CEOs. They don't do shit. They go talk to room fulls of people and like wear fancy suits and they talk about like, oh, did you see the fancy socks I bought? They have turtles doing calculus on them. And you're like, oh wow, I'm so impressed. And then like it's the other execs, like the COO of a corporation or the CCO. These are the people that are doing the CFO.
Officer,
They do a lot of work.
financial officer.
The chief organizational officer as well. Like these, you call it whatever you want. There's lots of different roles that do actually do work in the C-level suite, but the CEO specifically does fuck all. And I'm speaking from experience. Shout out JP Gladu. You're a loser.
I mean, I do understand, but like when you look at when you look at on paper on some graphs, you can physically see the difference of that 300%, like you were saying, Luis, where at one point in time people made a decent living, and then all of a sudden, like I said, with the bottom line, it boils down to profits, and you see their profits and stuff going up, and like even I was notorious, especially in restaurant work when I would do that when I was younger, for having no matter what, even if it was just a couple points off, I would never make labor. But yet, every other aspect of the store was great. I was the training store. I was with Domino's Pizza. I was the number one store. With Zaxby's Chicken, I was the number two store, like out of the entire country on both of these aspects. And like these were great landmarks from my perspective as a kid. And
Yep.
but I seen how they continued to treat me and hound me, that everything was about profit. Like, and that wasn't how I ran things. That wasn't how I did things. Like, I had families in those restaurants. Like those people were my family. Those were like, even though people are like, you shouldn't do that. Like, I was the guy that hung out with all of his employees and stuff. Hell, I remember when I did the chicken thing, I had a lake house.
People that say that are the ones that can't control themselves and aren't good people. But if you're a good person, you can totally hang out with your workers. Hell yeah.
Dude, I had my entire crew at Zaxby's. Like I had a lake house at that point in time of my life, and anytime they weren't at work, they were sitting down on my dock, hanging out, partying, chilling out. Like I was in my 20s at the time. We had roommates and stuff like that, so it was always a party house anyway.
Sir.
I was the GM of a Zaxby's, and my best friend at the time was the GM of a Moe's Southwest Grill. And we had basically had both crews inside our house at all times.
You're squatted. It's nice to be squatted.
it was just all the time, just hang out. But it was, it was good when I was younger and fun. Now I just like kind of being at home by myself. I like my handful of buddies. Don't get me wrong, and my internet friends that I look forward to hanging out with when they finally show up.
Me and Luis talked about this. That's funny. We talked about that. I was talking about this literally earlier. Yeah, fun as much as party houses and the room full of people. Yeah, those days are definitely gone. Right. But the internet people, I will take. I do enjoy those days. Yeah, interesting.
Bandit and Neptune have both been out here to visit me, and of course we had a blast. I actually took Bandit down the river. Yeah, I actually took Bandit down the river. That was. And Neptune lives down here too, so we need to see what we can work out with him being
sure.
Hopefully, if he's around, he can be up here with us as well because he's always a blast to be around. He's just been traveling extra hard for work.
We will shoot ourselves a little impromptu podcast to put up on my site, on my channels, and then we'll pump this thing out. By the way, this new setup's pretty fly, bud. Real Stream Studio.
Thank you.
I gotta learn this stuff. There's so much I gotta learn still. God damn it.
This is the one that I found that was the cheapest on my end, and
nice.
I could connect it to pretty much everything, and so far so good. Like I've tried with a couple other channels since we've done it on here, and some have worked, and just some were just plops, so I just dropped them. I've enjoyed the Luis tying us to Twitch because that's pretty fun. Like
it didn't turn on this time.
Oh, that's all right. But I got us. I remember I actually am who got the Red Pill Project banned from Twitch, which that was fun because I did Unit 731. I did a whole entire special with Vince and one of the other guys about Unit 731 and educated the world about it.
Is there a new guy on Instagram called Red Pill Project? I think I follow him.
It's probably Josh.
Is he a bald big guy with a big beard?
Yeah, that's what he looks like now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's him then. Interesting. He's doing well. He's got like over 100,000 followers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, they just quit producing mine and Vince's show, and then I'm not exactly 100% sure what happened with Vince because he didn't divulge and I didn't ask.
No shit.
Vince went his own separate way as well and does his own thing, and I love tuning into Vince because he has a bunch of cool conversations on his channel, usually just doing news and stuff like that too, but I love Vince's point of view on a lot of things, and I know he tunes in sometimes on Wednesdays with us here, and so if you're watching Vince, hey buddy, like because I guess we all just kind of support each other.
Good. What were you saying though? Unit 371. Sorry, I interrupted.
Unit 731.
731. What is that?
Unit 731 makes the things that the Nazis did look like child's play.
Oh, is that a CIA thing?
No, the Japanese did it during World War II.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Have you seen the movie Snowpiercer?
They're great.
Have you seen the movie Snowpiercer? Do you know that scene where they take that arm out?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that idea from the Japanese.
The Japanese committed, I think they killed 400,000 people in Nanking without a bomb, bro. They did that in 4 days without a bomb. They're
the world's. All right, you know how they always tell you that it's the quiet guy that you have to worry about?
Yes, Japan's crazy as fuck.
Japan is them, bro. Like they're if you go through Japan's history, there has been many times in history that everybody's just been like, nope, we're not fucking with those guys. Like they're
crazy.
We're good.
Yes, they're absolutely nuts. Yeah, they still celebrate. They celebrate their accomplishments in World War II still, and that is part of the reason why China hates them so much, because it would essentially be like the Germans celebrating the Holocaust every year.
Although we did bomb a lot of the masculinity out of them, and they just started painting Hello Kitty afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's a weird one, man. There's so many weird things about Japan. Do you know that they have the highest rate of smoking and the lowest rate of cancer in the world?
Yes, I do know that.
The fuck, like that just makes you.
Smoking is not the main cause of
No, it's all that. It's all the
obviously.
it's all the additives that the American government. It's all the
Well,
food
it's the
additives that the
additives.
American government put in it.
You
You
know,
look
it's
up
the stress.
Europeans, and you will see there's not a large correlationship between smoking. It's not as powerful as it is in US. Is smoking bad for you? Yes. Is
Yes.
smoking the reason most people get cancer?
No.
Potentially not.
That's why and even though it's not the best thing, if you are going to do it in the States,
and you see that it's not the smoking.
You're better off in the States if you get the stuff and do your own and like roll your own, get your own papers, get your own tobacco, because if you do, you're not you're actually getting tobacco and such like everybody else is. Most of your commercial cigarettes, they make a paste that they air dry into a paper basically and shred it and put it into your cigarette, and that's what they call tobacco. Like it's an absolute joke. And of course they have
probably made from corn.
They have an iron hand on the tobacco seed, and it's another one of those things you have to jump a bunch of hoops to even grow yourself. So there is a cool alternative that is still used by many Native Americans in the United States today called baby tobacco. And it's a smaller form of tobacco that you actually smoke while still green, and it has medicinal effects. So
okay, I love it.
Yeah, and if you go through the history of tobacco, that's another thing too.
Tobacco smoking, but you have to inhale an insane amount of nicotine for you to get that type of effect. But psychedelic.
The funny thing about I've got some good questions about nicotine. If nicotine is so dangerous that it has to have so many warning labels and so many age restrictions and everything like that, why can I buy the gum that's full of nicotine right over the counter without even having to ask for it?
Yeah, that shit gives you such bad indigestion. Oh man,
this is just a good question. I have like
how dare you ask questions? How dare you?
They have gone bananas. The tobacco industry has gone bananas, jumping hoops to do everything they can to discredit vaping, including being the people that pretty much make the bonk vapes that are the corporate vapes that you can buy behind the counter and stuff, and the throwaways and stuff that come from China and are all tested by a person before they put them in the package. Yes, I'm being 100% serious. You can find videos to prove it. But like, those are the ones that kill people, hurt people, and stuff like that. Like when vaping first started coming around and the people were still building like their box mods and stuff with all the proper equipment, this, that, and the other, and it's advanced a lot since then.
Well, I mean, that scare that happened was weed pens that had vitamin C.
Black market weed pens.
Vitamin E. I had
black market weed pens.
Yep, black market.
I need some vitamin C.
Like and
vitamin E, because vitamin E turns back into a solid in your lungs.
It does, but it made all of these people jump all these hoops and go after vaping, and I'll tell you why, because it made the federal government a mixture of the federal government and big tobacco go defunct on all of their loans that they got back in the 80s and 90s, dealing with tobacco and laws and stuff like that. There's
also has to do with the taxational structure.
Yes,
if states are allowed smoking again, they want you to smoke cigarettes because of the tax revenue, because they don't get as much tax revenue from vaping.
The truth campaign. You know what the truth campaign is? The against smoking and vaping and stuff like that. It's Philip Morris.
Philip Morris is Altria. They changed their name from Philip Morris to Altria, which it translates to high in Latin.
Now follow that a little bit further back, and guess who's the parent company of those two? Kraft Foods.
Oh, that's right. Kraft Food owns R.J. Reynolds. No, the R.J. Reynolds owns Kraft. It's R.J. Reynolds.
I'm pretty sure Kraft owns Marlboro.
No shit.
R.J. Reynolds owns.
Let's go. I love all this. I'm just sitting back enjoying the info, fellas. You help me, feed me
Philip
up.
Morris International, American division of the Altura Group.
It's R.J. Reynolds, I think.
Kraft Foods.
R.J.R. Nabisco.
R.J. Reynolds.
Okay.
Philip Morris Company, General Mill.
It doesn't. Kraft Foods does not. Kraft Heinz Company does not directly own Marlboro, which is a brand of cigarettes. which is Marlboro's actually owned by Altera Group, which is a separate company that focuses on tobacco products. So yes, they're the same company.
Wow, love
just
that.
Separate parts.
No,
and it is.
I love that.
There is an RJ Reynolds, but that's Nabisco. Sorry, that was my mistake. RJ Reynolds is linked to Nabisco, which is also a big food company.
Like, so, I mean, and all of it goes back to BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. At the end of the day, like those are the three biggest owners of everything.
What's the company called in the Tim and Eric show that makes everything? Like, we are just heading towards that, where it's just going to be the one company. You know what I'm talking about, JimBob, Texco or whatever. It's like the poop your pants thing, like everything. Oh my god, I'm gonna watch Luis. We gotta watch a couple Tim and Eric skits tonight.
Awesome job,
awesome job, great job, awesome show, great job.
Awesome show, great job.
I remember that show. Oh my lord.
Oh, some of my
what
best.
That type of comedy called? It was so weird. What's that type of comedy?
It has reshaped comedy. Like, those guys pretty much are the reason that a lot of the new comedy exists, and it's I don't even know what you call it. Absurdist. I don't even know. It's like not even funny. Like, the new version of it is I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. You can watch that on Netflix. Fantastic. Don't show your girlfriend. She won't laugh. She won't find it funny. But
no,
it's for the boys.
Absolutely. But I mean, I remember all of that good stuff. It was always good. Just ridiculous stuff to have playing in the background back in the day. Well, like I loved awesome. I loved classic Adult Swim, especially Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Sure.
And I've actually got to hang out and party with Carney Means, the dude that was Frylock.
Yeah,
him and Flash Gordon.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Wait, you hung out with Flash Gordon? You're literally Ted. You're like Ted,
dude. He was at XCon in the same year that Carney Means was there, and I was a Deadpool that was security that weekend, and so I was at the after party. I got to go to the after party with all of these guys and just hang out. There was also the dude from Clerks, the I'm Not Supposed to Be Here Today, and his girlfriend that fucked a dead guy in that movie. Like, they were both there. The dude that did all the makeup for like Buffy and all those other 90s shows like that, he was there.
Buffy, come on.
Because man, did that guy make a million of those faces.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. I wonder how long you have to work on Sarah Michelle Gellar's face. Am I right? Nailed it. Luis, how dare you?
She was the only one they barely ever did. No, I mean, what was the other guy? Angel, or the other guy?
Xander. No, Xander,
and Spike.
bro.
Spike.
Piccolo.
Yeah.
No,
Xander. Xander
Piccolo
is a big drug addict. Actually, he's in one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's called Cognition. Anyways, Coherence. No, it's called Coherence. Check it out, JimBob.
All right.
Check it out.
I will.
Coherence.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's an excellent movie. Independent all day. Yeah.
So, is there anything you can divulge into that that's been going on for you with the moving forward and positive or whatever that you're working on?
Shit, man. Just stay tuned. We got a big month coming. Stay tuned. We're gonna do self-defense training with Bryce Mitchell in a park in Arkansas. I'm gonna go down a river with you, JimBob, in Georgia. We're gonna go on the subway here in New York City. I got a huge day tomorrow with expanding my mind and trying some new style therapy and maybe getting lost and having a conversation with my sleep paralysis demon. And I got a bone to pick with that fucking guy. So, we're gonna do all that.
What's his name?
Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur. No, I actually don't know his name. He doesn't have a name.
Well, if you're gonna have visits from them, at least give him a name.
I'll call him Johnny Jr., man. He's just a punk. He's just lonely, man. He just wants to chill. I get it. I get it. It's all good.
So, John, along with the other things that we've had going on with turning into a live show on Wednesday nights that you guys can catch on YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, and Odyssey. Thank you very much if you're out there watching.
And Twitch.
And everybody that's out there tuning in and wherever you share us and all that good stuff too, man, we greatly appreciate it. If you haven't checked recently, I have relaunched Unconstitutional Awakening. It is a work in progress. Please be patient with me. There's great things coming with it, but the domain is still there, and it looks pretty cool now because I added some new cool colors and more recent artwork that I've been creating with my copy paste artwork that I do. Just all that good kind of stuff. But one of the newest things that we do that we have a good time with there, John, is we play a live action card game of Cards Against Humanity that we've redubbed called Pirates Against Humanity.
Let's go.
And the rules are pretty simple. I've already sent you and Luis your cards from just 10 random cards that I've taken pictures of out of my giant everything box that I still am pulling cards from. We're getting towards the end, but it is what it is. And I'm going to pull a black card and read it. And you guys will both get an opportunity to read one of your outrageous cards to fill in whatever blanks and or questions that need to be answered with these. And I might even tune in too, since there's only 3 of us tonight. I can pull more white cards for myself to call as well. It's always a good time, and I don't think I've been disappointed with it yet. You both should have 10 cards apiece, so we should have plenty.
So wait, sometimes did this come in the email? Did this come in the email you sent, JimBob?
Check your messages too.
I just sent it to your Instagram messages.
Oh, okay. I'm on it.
That was the closest thing I could send it to.
No, I got you. Okay. I got him.
All right.
I got it here.
All
right.
So, right off the bat, our first card tonight is what's big, sweaty, and fantastic?
Okay.
I'll go first. Some sort of alien lobster handjob contest.
Losing custody of the kids.
The profound humanism of Iranian cinema.
There goes Luis's all sounding nice and professional.
Yeah, Luis, yours was good. That one's too poetic. That one made sense.
Card number 2. A new adventure awaits at the Walt Disney's Magical Kingdom of...
Texting a picture of my asshole to Ted Cruz.
Getting involved in local politics.
Yep.
Swamp of unlimited tigers.
That sounds like an actual place at Disney. That's scary. That doesn't sound good at all.
Is that the place that Diddy's hanging out at?
I mean,
did he do it? What didn't Diddy do? What didn't? Did he do it, or did he do it, or did he not?
Dude, I heard audio this morning that I was like, I don't think I needed to hear that audio in my life.
The Justin Bieber thing, where he's like, we were doing stuff that every 15-year-old wants to hear about. Yeah, it was weird.
Wait, oh, that's a new thing? Because I know there's a video of him and Justin that's very awkward.
Yeah.
So he was doing in front of him or to him?
No, he says, well, I don't know. JimBob seems to be referring to a different video.
This one was just an audio. It wasn't a video, and it was him and.
It doesn't sound comfortable. There's another clip of him publicly that in a
him and like Jabrizi or some little something, and you hear the clapping and somebody being like, "Oh shit," and it wasn't a very pleasant sounding video. It sounded like somebody was having kind of a rough time. Speaking of rough times,
what is that? Bad boy for life.
Speaking of rough times, Mama always said life is like a blank. You never know what you're gonna get.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay.
Life is like
Mama always said. Sorry, you go ahead, Luis. Mama always said.
Mama said life is like RuPaul.
Mama always said life is like Russian propaganda. You never know what you're gonna get.
Mom always said life is like the Electoral College. You never know what you're gonna get.
There you go. That's pretty good. That actually, that fully checks out. It's pretty legit.
And we've had so much fun with this. These are the places to get good clips of the show from. One of these days, I'm gonna figure it out and do a good job. I tried it with some AI stuff, but it didn't do what I wanted.
Little clip show.
Yeah.
I'm so glad the AI
robots
nonsense. Are still inferior and incompetent bozos. I'm glad. I'm happy.
This one's kind of ironic, I guess, to go with the show. And
okay.
I reckon if you guys want, this will probably be our last one for the evening. It says,
"That sounds
good. It says, hey, check out my podcast. It's just two regular guys talking about blank.
Faking a pregnancy." Sorry, it jumped out at me. It just jumped out.
Buying things to fill.
By the way, guys, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant, guys. By the way.
Oh yeah. What was yours, Luis?
Buying things to fill the emptiness inside.
That's real. Those exist. Yeah.
My card just says titties.
That was all delivery, JimBob. See, sometimes it's how you deliver the card. That's it.
That's true. That's true. The delivery is always some of the best part. But I've enjoyed since we started doing this, and it always keeps things fresh and fun. And
yes, sir.
Absolutely ridiculous. Because especially bringing guests on here, I kind of get to make you say random awkward things that you probably wouldn't normally say playing this game. So I found fun in it, and plus I think the folks at home watching, of course, they love it as well. So are you still got the same website and the same social medias to find you, or do we have new places to find you?
Sort of. It's mostly the same. News updates for real with the 4. Shout out at Holla at your boy. We're on Twitter. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We did just start a new TikTok account called Fake News for Real to combat the censorship over there. But we'll be using both accounts. You find me in all the same old places, fam. It's so good to be back. Love y'all.
I'm glad to have you back, man. And of course, you're always welcome anytime over here. I look forward to you coming down to visit. We're definitely going to work on some stuff
buddy. It's going down.
Be awesome.
Buckle up.
For sure.
Shine me up some Spanish shoes.
I'm well over an hour away from Atlanta itself. So, when I say I'm in the sticks, man, we're down here in it. There ain't nothing close by.
Beautiful. That sounds great.
Except for woods, rolling hills, and rivers. So, you got any final words you'd like to throw out there? Anything anybody needs to look up this week to keep on what they're paying attention to?
Go subscribe to my YouTube. There's going to be some long form content coming. Lots of podcasts coming down the pipeline. If you're in NYC, Brooklyn, Bushwick, Queens, Jersey, hit me up, dog. We're here for 2 weeks. That's it.
Nice. Luis, you got anything we skipped over tonight that you didn't get a chance to voice your opinion about or warn us about, like the coming of the AI overlords or one of your top secret things that you just don't want to share?
It's the algorithms.
The almighty algorithm. All hail. Blessed.
It's going to be the foundation of the enemy.
Blessed.
The enemy we don't see.
Praise Jeebus.
So of course, you guys, as normal, you guys can keep up with all of this wherever it is that you're watching and or listening. I did solve our problem that we were having on Spotify, so do look forward to you guys picking back up listens over there. I apologize for that little ordeal. Aside from that, you guys know where to find us, of course, at unconstitutionalawakening.com. And I can't leave you without something good to giggle at every night, because that's just kind of the way I roll. So why were the Twin Towers angry on 9/11?
I don't know.
Because they ordered a pepperoni and just got a plane. Good night, everyone.